You're living on a planet where water is so rare that you wear a suit that recycles your sweat, your tears, and even, well, let's just say everything your body produces. A place where walking without caution can get you swallowed whole by a creature the size of a skyscraper. And yet, this very planet holds the most precious substance in the entire universe. A substance so valuable that entire empires would wage war over it. Welcome to that world. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into a tale of betrayal, prophecy, and a young man who goes from being a duke's heir to a desert-dwelling messiah and possibly the most dangerous man in the universe. Trust me, by the end of this story, you might find yourself whispering, "The spice must flow." All right, let's start from the beginning. We meet an aristocratic family that's about to make the biggest, and possibly worst, move of their lives. Duke Leto Atreides, his concubine Lady Jessica, and their son Paul are packing up their luxurious life on the planet Caladan and heading to a new home, Arrakis. Now you'd think this is an upgrade, right? New planet, new opportunities? Nope. Their new neighborhood is basically one massive Sahara desert on steroids. It's hot, dry, and did I mention it has giant worms that eat people for breakfast? Yes, sandworms. Not the cute earthworms you see in gardens. These things are so massive they could swallow a mining ship in one gulp. If you're unlucky enough to meet one, you'll be praying it's not in the mood for a snack. But why would anyone fight over this desert hellscape? 2 words, the spice. Not cinnamon, not paprika, but a magical substance called melange. It's the ultimate VIP drug of the universe. Extends life, heightens mental abilities, and is essential for space travel. Without it, the universe would grind to a halt. So yeah, everyone wants a piece of this spice action. The Duke isn't just moving there for fun. The Emperor himself ordered House Atreides to take over Arrakis from their rivals, House Harkonnen. Sounds like a promotion, right? Wrong. This is a trap so obvious even Scooby-Doo would have solved it in 5 minutes. The Harkonnens, led by the charmingly disgusting Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, think Jabba the Hutt with legs, are not leaving quietly. In fact, they've teamed up with the Emperor behind the scenes to wipe out House Atreides. Why? Because the Duke is becoming too popular and nothing scares an Emperor like a Duke with too many fans. Meanwhile, Paul, the Duke's son, is not your average teenager. While other kids worry about acne, Paul is busy passing ancient pain resistance tests and having visions of possible futures. You see, his mom, Lady Jessica, is part of this secretive sisterhood called the Bene Gesserit. They're like space witches, masters of political manipulation, combat, and mind tricks that make Jedi look like amateurs. The Bene Gesserit have been running a centuries-old breeding program to create the ultimate superhuman, the Kwisatz Haderach. And Paul might just be the guy. The thing is, Jessica wasn't even supposed to have him. She was ordered to give the Duke a daughter to marry into the Harkonnen family for political reasons, but nope, she decided to have a son instead. Talk about breaking the rules in style. Anyway, Paul's birth sets off a chain of events bigger than anyone can imagine. There's even a prophecy among the desert people of Arrakis, the Fremen, that a Messiah will come from the stars, the son of a Bene Gesserit, to lead them to freedom. Convenient, right? So the Atreides family moves in, tries to make peace, and immediately gets backstabbed. Literally everything that could go wrong does go wrong. The Harkonnens launch a sneak attack with help from the Emperor's elite troops, the Sardaukar, and the Duke is killed in a betrayal straight out of a Shakespearean tragedy. Paul and Jessica barely escape with their lives, fleeing deep into the desert where they meet the Fremen. Oh, and their survival suits? They recycle every drop of water your body loses, including, well, you get the idea. Suddenly, drinking from a cactus doesn't sound so bad, does it? With the Fremen, Paul begins his transformation from pampered aristocrat to full-blown desert prophet. They give him a new name, Muad'Dib. Sounds cute, right? It's actually the name of a little desert mouse. But don't let that fool you. Paul is becoming something terrifying. See, when Paul drinks the water of life, a deadly poison that only Bene Gesserit Reverend mothers can survive, he doesn't die. Instead, he unlocks insane prescient abilities. He can see all possible futures, all branching paths. And what he sees terrifies him. Billions of people waging a holy war in his name across the galaxy. He wants to stop it, but destiny has other plans. Meanwhile, Lady Jessica levels up too. She becomes the Fremen's new Reverend Mother by surviving the same deadly ritual while pregnant. Her unborn daughter, Aaliyah, absorbs all that knowledge in the womb and comes out acting like a creepy toddler genius. People are so freaked out they actually consider killing her. Imagine a 3-year-old quoting ancient wisdom and judging you for eating cookies before dinner. Yeah, unsettling. Back to Paul. With his visions, his charisma, and some good old-fashioned sandworm riding, Paul unites the Fremen into a powerful army. He trains them in advanced warfare, blending their desert survival skills with his own strategic genius. Then he declares war. The final showdown is epic. Picture this: massive sandworms crashing into battle, spice blowing through the wind, and the Emperor himself forced to kneel before a desert prophet. Paul crushes the Harkonnens, humiliates the Emperor, and basically says, "Guess what? I'm in charge now." He secures his position by marrying the Emperor's daughter, even though his heart belongs to his Fremen lover, Chani. Classic political move. And that's where this story leaves us, with Paul as both political ruler and religious icon, staring into a future he knows is drenched in blood. The rise of a messiah, the birth of an empire, and the cost of ultimate power. This incredible tale of prophecy, politics, and power plays, it's none other than Dune by Frank Herbert, the legendary science fiction masterpiece first published in 1965. Now let's talk about why this book is such a big deal. First off, Herbert didn't just write a story, he built an entire universe. The depth of world building here is, honestly, mind-blowing. He created ecosystems, cultures, religions, political systems, even languages. Honestly, the only other author who comes close is Tolkien. But here's the thing. Despite all the sci-fi elements, the book is deeply human. It's about ambition, faith, ecology, and the dangers of hero worship. It asks big questions like, what happens when people put blind faith in a leader? How far will humanity go to exploit nature for profit? Can power ever be controlled once it's unleashed? And let's not forget the ecological message. Arrakis isn't just a setting, it's a warning. Destroying nature for wealth? Sound familiar? Herbert was way ahead of his time on environmental issues. As for the writing style, it's dense but rewarding. You'll need to pay attention, but trust me, it's worth every page. This is easily the greatest science fiction novel I've ever read. And that's saying something. Frank Herbert wasn't just a writer, he was a visionary. He combined politics, religion, psychology, and ecology into something truly groundbreaking. Dune didn't just win awards, it changed the entire landscape of science fiction. It inspired movies, TV shows, video games, and even some of the biggest sci-fi franchises out there. Yep, including Star Wars. Sadly, Herbert passed away in 1986, but his legacy lives on. The original book spawned a whole series, and even after Herbert's death, his son Brian Herbert and co-author Kevin J. Anderson continued expanding the universe. So, will interstellar travel ever become trivial? Will humanity one day fight over resources on alien worlds? I don't know. But if that day comes, I just hope we don't end up drinking our own sweat in a desert full of giant killer worms. If you haven't read Dune, do yourself a favor and pick it up. It's a masterpiece that blends science fiction with philosophy, politics, and spirituality in a way that no other book does. And remember, the spice must flow. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.